We want to be seen as flawless. We do this because we are terrified of being perceived as incompetent by our peers. Deep down, humans are highly social creatures who subconsciously equate being capable with our actual survival in the group. If you can't contribute, you risk being cast out. This relentless pursuit of perfection is rarely about vanity. It is a deeply ingrained reflex designed to secure our rank in the social hierarchy. Sociologist Max Weber defined exactly what that rank looks like. He called it social status. Weber separated a person's standing into 3 distinct categories. Status isn't your wealth, the resources you hold, and it isn't power, the control you exert over organizations. Status is specifically the esteem, respect, and honor granted to you by others. But projecting unblemished, high-status competence comes with a massive cost. It acts as an impenetrable shield, aggressively pushing people away. Psychologists refer to this reaction as status threat. Encountering someone who seems completely flawless physically triggers our own anxieties. It spikes our heart rate as we subconsciously defend our own lower position in the pecking order. The robotic effort to be perfectly capable backfires, instead of drawing humor that makes everyone else feel threatened. Researchers describe this dynamic as the socio-cultural schema of status. It is an unspoken set of rules we use to automatically grant deference to people we perceive as highly valuable. When this schema scales up, it shapes deep systemic divides. It drives the intense resentment felt by working-class and ignored communities who feel culturally discarded by urban elites. It dictates the stark racial inequities that prompt marginalized groups to take to the streets, actively demanding the systemic respect they have long been denied. And it enforces the rigid, unquestioned deference required to navigate elite institutional structures, from modern corporate boardrooms to historical monarchies. Because status operates as a heavy, competitive hierarchy, the people at the bottom experience a compounding physical and psychological wear and tear. Meanwhile, the people at the top remain comfortably insulated by their presumed competence. But what happens when that insulation cracks? In 1966, psychologist Elliot Aronson designed an experiment to test exactly that. He had test subjects listen to a recording of a candidate answering a difficult trivia quiz. This candidate was impossibly perfect, answering almost every single question correctly and demonstrating top-tier intellect. Then Aronson introduced a twist. Subjects listened to a second recording of the exact same flawless performance, but at the very end they hear a loud clatter as the perfect candidate clumsily spills a cup of coffee. The subjects overwhelmingly rated the clumsy candidate as significantly more likable and attractive than the one who made 0 mistakes. This counterintuitive reaction is known as the pratfall effect. A minor blunder from someone who is clearly capable shatters their armor. It neutralizes the status threat they project and immediately replaces our anxiety with empathy. This matrix maps competence against likability, revealing the pratfall effect's catch. You need a baseline of high ability. If a struggler makes a mistake, the blender confirms their inability, dropping their value. But an expert making that mistake proves they're human, increasing likability. You cannot bypass the hard work of building skill. Status and competence remain non-negotiable requirements for surviving in a highly competitive world. Human social interaction is an ongoing negotiation. We constantly balance the drive to maximize our competitive advantage with our need for cooperative interdependence. Projecting unyielding perfection sends a purely competitive signal. It tells everyone around you you're an opposing force, triggering defenses and leaving you isolated. An intentional display of fallibility does the opposite. Vulnerability acts as an evolutionary de-escalation signal, proving you belong to the group, not above it. True social power will always require building undeniable competence, but achieving genuine human connection requires the courage to intentionally tear down the wall status builds.